So our final speaker before coffee is from the School Governor One-Stop Shop, or SGOSS, and I'm sure you'll find the input helpful. Also, what's your name, sir?
George.
Here comes George.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, good morning, everyone. My name's George Ward, and I'm an area manager at a SGOSS Governors for Schools. It can be a bit of a mouthful, so sorry for the SGOSS part, but yeah, we're SGOSS Governors for Schools. And basically I'm here today just to introduce you to our service, just to tell you a bit about us, and then hopefully you will sign up for our free service. So just here, basically, yeah, just to give you a little flavour of what we do and to take any questions that you might have. But yeah, that's basically the presentation. So firstly, who are SGOSS? SGOSS, we're a national charity, and our remit is to recruit school governor volunteers throughout the country into all different schools. We provide a free brokerage service between volunteers who wish to become governors and obviously schools that have the vacancies that we know exist in so many different schools throughout the year. We started as a very small pilot programme, and since 1999 we've gone on to recruit more than 17,000 school governor volunteers. As it says here, we work with any school, college or local authority that has governor vacancies, and our services are completely free to everyone involved. So that was a brief history of SGOSS, and now I'll just tell you a little bit about how we work and how our systems operate. So SGOSS works in partnership with employees across the public and private sector, as well as community organisations throughout the country. So from that you can tell that we probably get a wide range of volunteers, and that's something that we really sort of focus on because we like to get people from different backgrounds into the school governor role. Since 1999 we've been able to establish different networks, and from these networks we've been able to raise awareness of school governance and attract new volunteers year on year in different companies, different organisations. In order to recruit volunteers, part of our remit is to go and present at company headquarters and work increasingly with the corporate social responsibility programmes in these corporations to really try and raise the profile of the role of school governor. It's a role that so many people have misconceptions about, so we really try and go out there and really try and sell the role, obviously as an altruistic, voluntary role, but also we really try and focus on how people can benefit themselves from being a governor and the skills and experiences that they can attain through the voluntary role. So how does it work, our process? The school goes onto our website, and once that vacancy is registered with us, we'll search our database to see if we have any suitable volunteers. So the school registers their vacancy, and the volunteer obviously registers their application. So that's both on our website. As soon as we find a suitable match, the skills and experience the school has sort of stated as their preference, we'll be in touch with their application form and details. If the school would like to progress with the application form of the volunteer, you take it from there with the volunteer. So we're very much the middleman. We will receive the application from the volunteer, we receive the vacancy from the school, we put them in contact. That's pretty much where our service is based. Obviously if the volunteer isn't the correct match for the school, and that can be, on occasion, that can be how it is, but we really try and make sure that we find someone that we think is going to be suitable, so that isn't too frequent. But if you don't feel the volunteer is right for the position, we will continue to search for you, and obviously the school vacancy remains on our database, and we can try and find someone else. So the next stages, as mentioned, this is our website, and this is where schools register their vacancies. Obviously you can see the first tab is the volunteers, and that's where they log on. They fill in a 20-minute application, they outline why they'd like to be a school governor, they fill in a skills matrix which really enables us to see what skills they have and what they can offer schools. Obviously they put in their contact details there, so we can look at whether they want to be a governor near their home address or near their work address. We really try and tailor it to their needs. And then secondly, the schools tab, obviously this is where the school is registering their vacancy. So the registration process for the school, you register at the website outlined there. You specify the type of vacancy you're looking to fill, so that can obviously be community governor, co-opted, foundation. You state the skills that you'd like to bring onto your governing body, and this is like really where SGOSS, this is what we're all about. We're really trying to find skills-based placements. We know that so many schools require different skills with all the different changes happening in the academic world. There's a demand for certain skill sets, so we really try and make sure that we can try and get volunteers that will help schools meet those challenges. And as I said before, SGOSS then refers the applications from volunteers with the skills the schools require. That's sent across, and then hopefully you'd have an informal interview meeting with the potential volunteer. And if both parties are happy, then hopefully they're then elected at your next full governing body meeting. Ultimately, though, the school makes the final decision. We're very much the brokerage, as I've tried to emphasise, but it's down to the school's discretion whether they decide to elect the volunteer that we've proposed. And it was a very brief presentation. That's pretty much us in a nutshell. Obviously, if you have any more questions, I'll be here throughout the day. I've got a stand next to the key, and you'll be there. I'll be there throughout the day if you've got any other questions. But that was to really just give you a flavour of our service, which is completely free, and we really try and just help as many governing bodies across the country to find the governors that they require. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, George. Excellent. I do routinely recommend SGOSS. I'm constantly encountering governing bodies where they're saying, how do we find the right people? It's basically online dating, isn't it? There are others. It's not just Tinder. There's another organisation called Inspiring Governance who operate a very similar service to SGOSS, where you can sign up and find your perfect partner. And
you seem to know a lot of the terminology.
I'm also conscious that increasingly organisations are persuading their staff to undertake voluntary roles. I know this is true for Sainsbury's, Barclays Bank, Lloyds Bank, and so if you're in need of particular people or skills, there's no harm in approaching a large organisation and seeing if they might have someone for you. I'm conscious that I'm standing between you and your coffee.